Hello, it's Angela, and welcome back to my channel, Literature Science Alliance, and today we're going to do my May TBR, and this month I'm kind of participating in the Bookemon Readathon, which is held by Megan at, she just changed her name, so I think it's Megan Books Infinity now. I will have her channel linked below. This is such a fun and chill readathon, so it doesn't really have a lot of prompts. It does have challenges, but really you get a bunch of points to fight. I'm blanking on what the bad people are called in the Pokemon verse. Team Rocket. You have points to fight Team Rocket, and it's basically based on page count of books, and you can get a buddy Pokemon, which mine is PaperChu, because if you have an electric type Pokemon, you get an extra 100 points for every hour you listen to audiobooks or read ebooks, and libraries are closed, so I have a lot of ebooks that I've been taking out, so I figured it was a perfect way of reading what I still wanted to read while participating in this readathon. I'm also going to be part of Team Mystic, because one of their challenges is pick your TBR logically, which is really what I do. I think I sort of mood pick my TBR, but once my TBR is set, I have my checklist and I'm going. So that's kind of my plans. I also have books that work for the Asian Readathon and the Desert Readathon and some other readathons that happen throughout the month, but I'm not trying to complete any bingo cards or fill out every prompt. I just was also trying to have a variety of options for this month. So I'll just go through and, if you like any of these books, please let me know down below. If you've read any of them, I would love to hear your thoughts, because that'll kind of determine what I get to first, because I think I can do all of this, but like last month, it feels like a lot right now as I look at this piece of paper. So, to start it off, I'm going to read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This I'm reading primarily because I have a friend back home who read it and really liked it and thought I had already read it and was like, oh, it was so good, we can talk about it. And I'm like, oh, I haven't read it. So, whenever I have a friend who's really passionately excited about a book, I want to pick it up so I can talk to them about it. So that's why this one's on the list. The next one is Middlegame by Seana and McGuire, and this one's here because the Hugo Award nominations list came out, and I found out that by accident I've read everything on the novels list but Middlegame, so I just felt like I needed the complete set. So I'm just going to read it. Also, Kayla said it. She thought that Library at Mount Char, which is a book I enjoyed reading, was similar to Middlegame, or she thought they were supposed to be similar, and I'm kind of about that. Plus, she's such a prolific author that I've read 0 of her works, so I figure might as well start here. It was Hugo nominated. And the next one is Scythe by Neal Schusterman. This is a book that has been on my Kindle for a few months now from the library, and I just need to read it to get it off my Kindle, because I have a lot of other books on this list I want on my Kindle. I also have been really interested in this YA dystopian future book where no one dies anymore, so you have to cull the herd. So I have been really interested in it, and honestly, when I put a hold on it months ago, I had to wait months, and so time to get to that. The next one will come as no surprise, as I'm going to read The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin, because I am a fangirl who needs to continue to go through this amazing author's back catalog. So excited to try out this duology. I can't know for sure if this was her first published or second published series, but I am excited to get my hands on it because I love her so much. The next one was a recommendation for the Desertathon, and it's We Hunt the Flames by Hafsah Faizal. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please someone help me. But this one was recommended for the Desertathon, and also for Team Mystic. We're supposed to read books that take place in Middle Eastern area, so I figured that would be good. The next book I plan to read is City of Miracles by Robert Jackson Bennett. I don't know why he uses all 3 names. I always get them confused. It's pretty much a 50-50 split if I'm going to say Robert Jackson Bennett or Robert Bennett Jackson. They both sound right. But this is the 3rd book in his Divine Cities trilogy, and I know everyone's reading Shorefall right now, but I'm not going to be able to get my hands on that for a minute. And I really have been not finishing this trilogy, not because it's not good, but each book is its own thought, so you don't really feel the drive to go on to the next one, and they've all been wonderful. I've enjoyed all of them a lot, and I really love the character that I know this one centers around, so I'm going to pick it up this month. I've written it down. It will happen. The next 2 on my list are actually short story collections because I've been wanting to get into them more, and the first one is Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. I don't know a lot about this book other than I know one booktuber who liked a lot of the short stories. I was recommended it by my bookstore when I was asking for adult fantasy Latinx authors. I think this probably is more in the magical realism realm, I don't know, but I was intrigued by it, especially after a booktuber I trust really liked it, so I'm going to give that a shot. And then from Quarantine Pages, I had been hearing a lot of good things about the short stories in The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I looked up a video, that's my best shot at that, and they were all raving about it in the group, so I wanted to read it, and we'll see what I feel about it. I'm not typically one who reads a lot of short story collections, but I have been learning recently that I really like novellas and short stories for when I need breaks between my bigger tomes, because they make you feel like you've accomplished something, and also they can really dig into themes like really specifically, so I'm excited to get into both of these. So those are all my ebooks, which is why I chose PaperChu, because I'm going to get extra points for all these ebooks. Plus they do fit in other categories and challenges that I'm not going to talk about here, but really excited for that readathon. And then I do have 3 physical books that will still count, but they won't work with my PaperChu. And one of them is Second Foundation by Isaac Asimov, which this has been on many a TBR, and I've still not finished it, despite how short it is. It's the 3rd book in the Foundation trilogy, and I just need to finish it. So, again, putting it on a list and hoping it happens. I've been trying to be nice and read at least one book my boyfriend recommends to me a month. So this month I'm going to read The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. And this is a recently translated sci-fi that sounds really cool, kind of got lots of Giver feels, and he really liked it. And the longer he's thought about it, the more he wants to talk about it here. And I kind of want to read it, so maybe we'll do like a dual review of it, who knows. But it's pretty short, and I'm interested. Plus, it works for the Asian Readathon. And then the last one, it's probably the first one I read this month, but the last one I'll talk about is Dune. This is my boyfriend's really fancy edition. My edition is the really chunky paperback, but this is a really nice one. And this is by Frank Herbert, and this is a reread for me. The movie comes out eventually. I don't know anymore when anything happens. And I'm actually going to buddy read it with a subscriber because she wanted to get to it, and it's been on my list to reread. Ramsey at Readathon's been raving about it, and I just want to remember why I enjoyed it when I read it 4 years ago. So excited to get to this one. Plus, I don't know which copy I'll read, but I have options apparently. So that is my May TBR. I don't actually even know how many books. It's like 12 books. Goodness. We'll see what happens. I'm never hard on myself if I don't get to something. Reading is something I do for pleasure, like a lot of us here, and I am trying to go outside my comfort zone and read some things that I hope will help me grow as a reader. It's always kind of my goal. So yeah, let me know what your plans are for May. I know there's a boatload of readathons happening, so if you're participating in any of those, which ones are you having fun with? It's not too late to join, I think, the Bookemon, so if you want to join me on Team Mystic. There's also other teams, I think Valor and Instinct, and they have other challenges and prompts. So yeah, that is it for this one. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content and support my channel, and otherwise I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.